Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tango Romeo 87. Today we're going to do a little different video. It's going to be a review of a product that we've had for quite a while. I actually bought the product to put into our bus back when we had the bus, and it's just been sitting gathering dust, and we've decided that we need it with the camper. So it would work in a camper, an RV, a bus, a van. It could be a good addition. It's the ever vaunted Maxx Air fan that everyone seems to talk about. So we're going to install this Maxx Air fan today. We ripped the old cheap, I don't know what you call it, and got it out, and the hole is the same size. That's the good thing about a camper. A 14 by 14 hole is standard for any of the appliances to go in it. So we've cleaned up the roof, got that out, and we're ready to put the Maxx Air fan in. So today's video is going to be a review about the ease of installation, the ease of operation, and does it do everything that they say it does? Is it going to suck the screens out of the windows in the camper and make our life better? So we'll get up and get this put on the roof and see how hard that installation is. One thing to keep in mind, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notification so that you'll be notified when we have new episodes out. We're back to a weekly posting schedule. We're going to do a lot of reviews on things that are good in campers and buses and vans, so you want to subscribe to the channel and stick around. Let's go put the fan in. Okay, before we go put this in, let's talk about which Maxx Air fan we got. We got the manual model. Tracey decided she wanted it better. They do make this with a rain sensor that closes the hood when it rains, remote control so you can lay in the bed and change your Maxx Air fan. It comes with a heavy metal screen that's removable when it gets dirty. As you can see, the fan is not like the little fan that's in the bathroom, which is about that big around and doesn't move enough air to keep you alive if you needed that. This is built a whole lot heavier than the original vent that was in the camper to start with. So far from here, instead of having a crank, you have a knob, and it seems to work really well. It locks into position. You have all your electric controls here so that you can change the speed of the fan, in or out, on or off, and you've got a button that automatically sets it so that the fan comes on if the temperature in the camper reaches 78 degrees. That's kind of a neat feature because we've got the dinosaurs that we don't want to come back and find out we're having hot dogs for dinner. So off to go put this puppy in. Okay, step one in the Maxx Air fan project is to get the old roof vent off of the roof. They used a lot of putty and silicone to seal this thing down to make sure that it never leaks. So I chose to get a chisel and stay on the metal band around it to pry all that off and clean it where I could get to the hex heads, where I could get the drill in and start removing the screws. Okay, once the screws out, the hard part was done. Took the chisel, just cleaned up any of the putty to see what I had to work with, and then gently got under it and pried it up on one side. Keep in mind you have that rubber membrane underneath that covers the entire roof of the camper. You don't want to penetrate that. As you can see, it just popped off, but it left putty everywhere. As you can see, getting the putty off was the most difficult part of this job. I had to enlist professional help. Tracey stood on the bed on her tippy toes and worked her way all the way around this and removed every bit of the putty. We've got our opening cleaned up all the way around it. It's hot. I mean, North Carolina hot here in the sun today. I laid a thermometer on the roof. It's over 100 degrees just laying there on the roof. I'm going to be bright red in the next video if I don't hurry up and get this one done. So to put this in, you need butyl tape. Now I bought the installation kit that MaxxAir fan offered. Came with butyl tape, came with all the screws we need to put it in. So all we need to do is get it in there, get it centered in the hole, and start bolting this thing down. Okay, so once you've got an area cleaned up about 3 inches all the way around, apply some new butyl tape to your new fan. Use scissors to trim it, a knife won't work. Get a good seal all the way around it, and you're ready to install. Okay, once we got it centered evenly in the hole, we pressed it down and started to put the screws in all the way around it. You only want to tighten the screws up enough that the butyl tape starts to squeeze just a little bit to avoid cracking the new plastic trim all the way around it. Once we get it all screwed in, we'll get off the roof and start doing the inside job. Okay, it's in there. It's beyond hot up here. I'm gonna have to go down and get a drink. One thing is the installation kit was 2 screws short, so I had to use 2 of the screws from the old removal to finish this up. Turn this camera around, let you see this. There's a lot of screws along this side and the front side, but there's not as many screws on the other side. So we put the butyl tape in there. We tightened the screws until it started to squeeze out, which is what they said to do. So let's go in and wire this thing up and see how MaxxAir fans work. Well, I'm talking about ladders. Everybody should have this with their camper or bus or van. These things collapse, and I'll put a link below to one so you can compare them. Okay. The MaxxAir fan is in the roof, as you can see in the opening here. In case you want to know, I'm going to borrow this. In case you want to know why it gets so hot in your camper, it would apply to a bus and I assume a van too, in the summer. As you saw the thermometer a minute ago, it was over 150, maybe 160 degrees on the roof surface where the sun's hitting the top of the camper. This, if you can see, is the insulation. So you've got about 2 inches of insulation in the ceiling, and they hope you turn the air conditioning on so that you don't die. Right now ours is a microwave because we've had this big hole in the roof open all day, and we don't like to use air conditioning.
It's noisy.
And unless we have to, we don't use it. So we're hoping the MaxxAir fan does everything that it's supposed to. But the fan went in well. Now we'll see how the wiring goes. The wiring's hanging down from the fan. It comes with it. Luckily, I have a 12-volt light this far away. I believe that I should be able to remove the light and tap right into this 12-volt. So, we don't have any fireballs. And I know where I changed all the lights out to LEDs except this room, that everything is on wire nuts. So it's just a matter of twisting the wire in. Now I have to find the wire. Tracy went and found us a coat hanger, so we were able to get the wire pulled through. Now all we have to do is just connect the black to the black, white to the white, and the MaxxAir fan should beep when it receives power. So let's see. And always make sure you turn the power off before you attempt any kind of wiring repairs. Kind of different than the bus we were building, and they were nice enough to put all these wires in here for us, because with the price of wire today, you guys that are building buses, man, I got nothing but respect for you. All right, so that connection's good. All we got to do is put the light back in the ceiling. Now we can come over here and see if we have a fan. This is the part that we're going to find out. Is this MaxxAir fan worth its weight in gold? I did something right, unless it's running backwards.
Yes, I feel air blowing through here. Feels great.
Come and feel that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Once we put the guard around it, it'll change a lot too, because it won't be sucking air from the attic. It'll be sucking even more through the house. Now, doing the guard's a little bit odd. So, we got to do that next. Okay, the way they tell you to trim this, because most of the time it's too big for the ceiling height, it's made to fit in a lot of different ceilings, is measure up to the corner, which is 3 inches, and add a ½ an inch if it doesn't fit. Because this will probably stop long before it goes into place.
Huh.
Or not. I don't have to trim this one.
Very good.
So all I need to do is put some screws in it. We'll do that. Really changed the airflow because it's not sucking heat from the attic now.
Here we go.
Can't put a screw in the hole with a screw. Okay, I want to kind of demonstrate how much air this thing is moving. We shut the door and shut all the windows except this one at the dining room table. Outside it's stone cold chilled. Show them the flag on the pole. It is just not moving air at all. Okay, so now I'm going to hold this napkin up to this window just to show you how much air that MaxxAir fan is pulling through this house.
Sweet.
It's sweet. Like Tracy just said from behind the camera, it's sweet. That's going to change the temperature in here 10 to 20 degrees on any given summer day. Well, what do you think, Trace?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a beach breeze.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Whoa, yank the napkin out of Tracy's hand.
On Amazon. We'll put a link down below. Check it out. We bought the one, of course, that is manual. But it does have the 78 degree option, that once it reaches 78 degrees in here, that it automatically kicks on. But you can get them with remote control. You can get them that are automatic. Before long, we're going to air up the tires on the old camper, and we're going to an undisclosed location. So you want to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell for notification, because we're going on the adventure of a lifetime, and we're doing it different than most of the other channels are doing it. Yep. So give us the MaxxAir fan. We're gonna let you know what we decided on, whether we like it, how easy it was to install, and
we might have given that away a little bit.
Well,
acting like giddy little children on Christmas Day.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna rate it on three different items.
Yep.
And they are
how sexy it is.
No.
Oh. What item are we rating?
The MaxxAir fan.
The MaxxAir fan.
Yeah.
It is on ease of installation, the quality of the build, and how well we're pleased with the actual operation versus what the promise was.
Right.
So we use this cool rating station, which Tracy's drink leaked on mine and got them wet. But we have numbers that we rate them on from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And we don't tell each other how we're going to rate this thing. So let's just get to this. It's getting late. Right now I kind of think we ought to just rate it, and then we can talk a little bit about the fan. So we never tell each other how we're going to do this, and mine are soaking wet. So this first rating is going to be on the ease of installation of the fan. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. 1 is just horrible, and 5 is great.
Right.
So as far as ease of installation, I'm going to give it a, turn yours around, 5. Mom. So that's 10 out of a possible score of 30. By the time we rate all 3.
Right.
The installation wasn't too bad. We can't blame the people at Maxx Air fan for the people who put our last vent in, who put 2.5 pounds of sticking pucky per square inch.
Right.
The installation was easy, and because I didn't have to trim ours, you know,
It was a snap.
just pow, and it was together, and we had, you know, easy access to the 12-volt power to make it run.
Right.
Okay, so we'll move on now, and we'll shuffle through our cards again, and we're going to rate this thing on the quality of the build. How well is it built? How well do we think it'll hold up? And it's a tough one because a lot of products today are just not built as well as they say.
They're not.
But on a 1 to 5 scale, I give it a, so now we got 20 out of 30. That'd be rare for me to give a 5 on the quality of build, but it's built well. When you push the buttons, you don't feel the panel moving around. You don't feel them pushing through. The materials that it's built out on, I was bolting it to the roof, it was rigid. It was solid, and it bolted in and didn't flex and wave. So
it's actually higher quality than the one that came in the camper. The one that came out of the camper was junk. It was
that was
cracked.
just a vent.
I mean, yeah, but it's still.
It's also 20 years old.
I don't care.
This was a 2001.
It was flimsy.
Springdale.
This is not. The
Yeah, it was flimsy. When you crank it out, it'd go okay, but when you go to crank it down, it'd be like, and you're like, I'm not gonna do that while someone's sleeping.
No. So
our final vote this evening will be on how satisfied we are with the way it operates overall. Okay. So we rate the overall operation of it as a 5.
Love it.
So in other words, the Maxx Air fan gets a perfect score from Tango Romeo. I gave it 5 Romeos, you gave it 5 Tangos.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were just laying on the bed a little bit ago. It's what?
9 o'clock.
A little bit after 9 o'clock. And we switched it around, cracked the vent open, and started forcing air down. It's like having a mega ceiling fan over your bed.
It's nice.
And it was amazing. I'll sleep better tonight than I have in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can feel air being pushed through the house now.
Yes.
So, Maxx Air fan, it's everything they say it is. If you've got a bus, you've got a van, you've got a camper, and you're tired of that stale, stagnant air, that's the one thing we noticed all afternoon. You know, after we cut the video off, we were talking about the paper towels, but over the course of the next 30 minutes or so after we cut the camera off, the temperature in here changed 20 degrees.
It did.
And it became fresh because the air was constantly moving through the house instead of just trickling or a fan blowing on you. It was pulling air through and out. And, you know, we'll retouch on that, but you can visit our blog on our website at TangoRomeo87.com. We'll do an update on the post there.
Yeah.
Next week, I think we're going to do a really cool review on portable washing machines for the camper or the apartment or the van or the bus. So, you know, a lot of hype on those too. You know, oh yeah, this is going to save you a ton of money at the laundromat. But we'll let you know the truth on that because we're gonna give one a workout.
Yep.
And we're gonna film it, and every aspect of it, if it has a weakness, we'll find it. So subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, give us a like on this video, and hit the bell so you'll be notified because we're going to do, as well as the adventures that we're about to pull off once we get where we're going, we're going to do a lot of product reviews on products that are great for campers, buses, vans, things that fit in that space.
Which is limited, as we all know. Small spaces, you can't have as much.
We're going to do some cool things, and if you've got an idea on something you'd like to see reviewed, we may already own it, or we're not afraid to get it, but we will put a link to the Maxx Air fan down below so you can see the reviews and see exactly what it is we purchased. But I would highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you got into the remote controls and rain sensors if you wouldn't have more problems. I can't say. I don't have it. I like
simple.
The acronym KISS.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Tends to work a whole lot better, and it's not that hard to open and close the vent. So appreciate you taking the time to watch the review. Put your comments down below. We'll respond to all those. You can go to the website and chat with us live. That ties right to our cell phone, so if we're not completely busy doing some remote work or something, we'll take a minute and answer your questions live. So a lot of things changing for Tango Romeo 87, and we want you to be part of our journey.
Yes.
So join us and come on.
Come on.
I am out of here. I'm going to bed. I got to
Good
work
night.
tomorrow. See ya.